If it were your decision to make, would you have a housing court?
Absolutely. I think it's very beneficial. I think we do get things done. It's very important to the community overall. Obviously, people know the problem properties that are out there. The more programs we have available, I think that the easier it is to get them cleaned up.
One of the problems is out-of-town owners. What limitations do you face in going after people who own properties who aren't here?
Well, these are the cases that come to my docket are criminal cases, and it's difficult, obviously, to prosecute folks that aren't in the state of Ohio. Also, I don't have the statutory authority. The city doesn't have the statutory authority to prosecute out-of-state corporations. That they can prosecute them, but they can't force them to come here and defend the charges. They basically their courts handle everything property related, from foreclosures to landlord-tenant. To also the code violations. I'm limited by my statute authority. We don't have any. I don't have any control. I cannot hear any of the foreclosure actions. And so, sort of the benefit in Cleveland and Cuyahoga County is all the problems are in one place. But down here, unfortunately, I'll have a property owner that the property's foreclosed upon. The property's still in their name. They're dealing with the foreclosure upstairs in the Court of Common Pleas, but they're dealing with the code violations down here. So it's difficult for me to get all the parties in the same room at the same time.
How do you think this area is handling the problem of abandoned properties?
I think the city is doing a great job. They enforce the vacant building maintenance license ordinance, I think, to the letter of the law. I think they've been aggressive in going after these properties. But it's a huge problem. It's overwhelming. There's just a large number of them. As I said earlier, I think some of the projects between the land bank and the project through the state to demolish, I think, help the city. But again, most of it comes down to funding. The city or whatever agency has to have the money to demolish these properties, and it's expensive for everybody involved. So I think for the resources that we've had with the coordination with the city, I think they're doing a very good job.
If you could pick one thing that would have the most dramatic impact on this problem, what would it be?
It's always resources. It's funding. People having enough money to actually. It's not even just. It's some of the properties that can't be torn down that have to be fixed, and it's extraordinarily expensive to handle it. I think if we had the funding to do it, I think, or the funding available for folks to do it, I think would make it a lot better.